'em.
What's up?
What's up? I'm Wes from Gatwick Games.
And I'm Zach, and today we're doing a walkthrough of our new Kickstarter game, Racekart Riot.
Let's get to the table and get going.
We are so excited today to talk about Racekart Riot because of the unique gameplay and because we have some pretty beautiful components as well. The game actually plays just like one of our favorite retro video games, Mario Kart or any similar type retro racing game. The game plays in about 45 minutes to an hour. It can be a little bit quicker with less people or a little bit longer with more people.
And on top of it, there's the Galaxy expansion. Yeah, there we go. We will only be playing with the base today, and this you can also buy. It's not a standalone game, but you can play with it later. I can't wait to throw some bananas and try and take a shortcut, but before we get there, let's get to the setup.
We will start by choosing the side of board we would like to play on. You can either choose Redbane's Castle, the one that's shown right here, or you can play on the reverse side, which is Queen K's Beach. Each board has unique rules and shortcuts that make each game on them very unique and different, which we'll go through a little bit more in this video. But the rules suggest that we start with Redbane's Castle, so that is what we're gonna do, and that's what we have right here for you guys. To set up the board, first you're gonna place 3 gold tokens on every single one of the spots that have a gold symbol on it, a G symbol, which stands for gold.
Each player will get a player board, a miniature, 10 coins, and their movement cards, which they will shuffle and place into the draw pile section of their player board. Each player will then place the miniature behind the start banner on the board.
Next, you're gonna set up the cart supply section. Next to the board, you're gonna flip 5 cards face up after shuffling the cart supply deck and leave the draw deck at the end of the line of the face up cards. Each of these cards has unique powers or values that we will discuss in the gameplay section of the game.
Next, you will take all the mystery items and place them face down on the side of the board for drawing during the game. After you've done this, you give the player who rolls the highest on the 12-sided dice the first player token. You may also keep the quick start rule card next to you for questions and references.
Now that we've set up the game, you're ready to play. The goal of the game is to be the fastest racer to complete 2 full laps. I know it's not 3, but 2. It's still pretty fun. But that isn't the only way to get points. Throughout the game, there are many other opportunities to get points and coins to win, even if you don't come in first in the race.
Each round is broken up into 4 specific phases during the game, and you'll play turns and rounds like this. First, you'll pick cart supply cards, which are over here, and we'll explain those. Second, you can play a mystery item attack. Third, then you play your movement and move around the board. And fourth, you can play extra movement if you have the applicable cards or items. The player with the first player token will start, and it will go in clockwise order. Phase 1 is the cart supply card pickup phase. If you want the base card, you can select it for free. If you want the second card, you must place 1 coin on the previous card and so on until the 5th coin. Or conversely, if you do not want any of the cards showing, you may select a card from the deck. When you pick up a card with any coins on them, you take all of the coins on that card.
Cart supplies may be put together to gain more points at the end of the game. If you are able to get a complete matching set, they are worth more points at the end of the game. Some items that you will pick up can also be combined for an even greater effect, like in the case of the Jump and Speedway, or in the case of Love and Luck Potion and Baking Soda and Vinegar. These will give you points the more combinations you get. You will place items on your player board face up for all to see. You can hold as many items as you would like with no limit in these locations. That includes cart parts and items. If you would like to lock a cart so no one can steal your parts, you must have all 3 parts, and once you lock the cart, it cannot be adjusted. For used items and locked carts, you place them in this location.
Once every player has selected a card, we move on to the attack items phase. Going in turn order, you may select to play any number of mystery attack items that you have. The attack items include the banana, egg, homing pigeon, magnet, steel cart part, and a bomb. Each has different effects, and when played on another player, sometimes you will roll for distance and the defending player will roll for defense. For example, if I roll a 5 or higher, I can dodge a banana and will not spin out, losing 2 movement. For more mystery items information, you can check the rules. When used, discard the mystery items. Once all mystery items have been selected from the side of the board, reshuffle the used ones and place them back on the side of the board. For the first round, no player will have mystery items, so you can skip this step.
The next phase is the movement phase. At the beginning of each round, players draw 2 cards from their movement pile. This is where things get really interesting. Am I Riot, AWS? Get it? Riot? Anyway, once you pick up your 2 cards, you'll see each card is split up into 2 halves, the first lap and the second lap. While all players are in the first lap still, these cards' movement, speed, and powers will apply to the first lap portion. As soon as at least one player has started their second lap, all players will then use lap 2 for their movement, speed, and powers on all continuous rounds. You'll also see a few other things. This number indicates how many spaces you will move on the board in any forward direction you choose. For example, if you have a 6 movement speed, you may move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces and land on this spot. Or you may go 6 spaces to this space instead. You decide. We will be going over board strategy and rules later in this video. The other part of the card you may see is the power section. The majority of these powers go into effect immediately when they are played. Even though all players will reveal their movement speed simultaneously, the powers and effects are performed in turn order. Some powers go into effect depending on what place you are in or your location, like Queen K's card here. These go into effect immediately as well based on location at the beginning of the round. There are a few unique rules for each character, and while most of them are self-explanatory, some need further explanation and can be found in the glossary or movement rules.
Well, Zach, you seem quite queen on this game. Get it? One thing to note about movement is that once you use your movement card from your hand, you will discard it and place the unused card at the bottom of your draw pile face up. The discarded one cannot be used again, so choose wisely if you want to use your movement card for this lap or on lap 2. When you get to the bottom of your draw pile and see the first face-up cards, reshuffle and draw again. Also, it is important to note that players reveal their movement cards at the exact same time. Thus, it's like simultaneous movement. But remember, you move in clockwise order, so landing on a place first is important.
Before the round ends, each player has the opportunity to perform extra movement abilities. These items include a speedway, turbo snail, lightning, and combos like boosted jump, which is a combination of a jump and a speedway. Combustion, which is a combination of baking soda and vinegar and gives a +1 movement.
And that's the end of the round. All you need to do now is pass the first player token to the next player, going clockwise, and each player will draw 2 cards, and that's the beginning of the next round. Next, we move to the board game rules. The boards are beautifully designed by our very own Trent Gershbaugh. He's sitting right there on the ground. Before we start, there are 4 symbols you should know about before we explain movement around the board. The first is mystery items. You get to pick up a mystery item from the side of the board if you land on or pass the space. This is the only sign that you get the benefit from passing. The rest, you have to end your movement on the space.
The next space is the coin space, which we kind of briefly mentioned before. When you land on that space, you get to pick up all coins on that space. If there are no coins, you don't get anything. Also, if you land on any other space with coins on it, you will pick those up as well, not just the ones that have a G on it.
Event spaces? Now these are the best. If you stop here, you roll the 8-sided die and immediately perform the action in the legend in the corner. Cart supplies, if you finish your movement on this space, you get to immediately choose another cart supply card and you follow the normal picking rules as before.
Also, on the board, there are specific rules. For example, on Redbane's castle, there is a lava that you must pass 2 different times.
Or you can do shortcuts that help you along your journey. There are also places where if you land, you have to pay coins. The detailed rules are in the rule book for you to look at.
Lap 2. When someone crosses the finish line after lap 1, it triggers lap 2. This means that everyone, though, not just the person that crossed the finish line, everyone on the whole game will start lap 2. For lap 2, you are going to place 3 more gold onto every spot after that round ends. And in some cases, there actually may be more than just the 3 that you're putting on. There may be up to 6.
The game ends with 1 player crossing the finish line, but it is important to note that you need to go as far as possible. If 2 racers cross the finish line, then the racer who's gone the furthest on the track gets first place. But getting first place doesn't mean you'll win the whole game. The cart supply cards and coins will give you extra opportunities to win more points and change the outcomes of the game.
So, Wes, are you ready to get your engines rolling?
Yes.